Aloha guys, this is Joyce from Enjoy Scrappin' 2, and today I'll be making a card using Newton's Nooks Design stamps and Akashia Sai brush markers. Jen was generous enough to send me some goodies for me to play around with, so I'll be featuring some of the stamp sets. Today I'm starting out with this stamp set, which is called Newton's Daydreams. It's super cute. Jen is the owner and the illustrator of Newton's Nooks Designs, and Newton is their cat. That's where she gets the inspirations from, and of course, the name of the stamp company as well. I've used Newton's Nooks stamps before, and they're very high quality photopolymer stamps, and they have a lot of different sets, and they're all super cute. So this is the stamp set that I'll be using, and I'll be creating a scenery for Newton that's taking a nap. So I have some things pre-prepped here. I have some vellum pieces I cut using the Mama Elephant's trio die. I have this stitched rectangle piece that I cut using the MFT stitched rectangle. This is watercolor paper. I'll be doing some watercoloring today. And I also have this polka dot design paper and an A2 size card base. I'm going to start out with this watercolor paper, and I'm going to stamp Newton using the VersaFine Onyx black ink. This is a pigment ink, so it dries slower, so you have plenty of time to put embossing powder over it. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be stamping it and then putting some clear embossing powder, and I'm going to heat emboss it. So once I've done that, I'm going to put everything off to the side, and I'm going to start doing the coloring. So I chose out a couple colors from this Akashia Sai brush markers. I shared with you guys when I first played around with these. I have a video on that. So I chose out two browns here. One is a lighter tannish color and a darker brown. There's only 20 colors in this set. And so these were the brown tones that was in the set. And I'm going to color Newton today like the actual Newton. He has his tannish brownish color, and so I'm going to try to mimic that as best as I could. So I'm using some water and I'm blending it out entirely. This is going to be my first layer. He is super cute. And here I'm putting some lighter green, and that's going to be my grass. I'm just dragging it down a little bit. I'm not going to be coloring the entire bottom portion of the grass. I will be using some distress inks later to blend these two together. I just want to add some color to it. And then I'm also adding a little bit of blue here right around Newton to create this bluish halo right around Newton. So these markers blend very easily. So it's really easy to work with, in my opinion. So as you can see here, I kind of finished the grass. And what I did was I just inked up the bottom with peeled paint. And I put a little bit of a darker green right underneath Newton. And here I'm using a tumbled glass, and I'm going to also ink up the top portion, which is going to be my sky. So I'm using the minis here. I'm going to be using the tumble glass and salty ocean. That's my favorite combination for the sky. And I have some clouds that I punched here. This is actually from a Fisker's Cloud Punch. I punched out 3 and I'm inking it again using tumbled glass. And then I also have a vellum cloud that I cut. I didn't know which ones that I was gonna use, so I just have some options to work with. And this is the salty ocean here. So I'm creating like a sunny day scenery for Newton for him to take a nap. So here I have, this is a darker one of the browns. As you can see, I put a little bit of the darker shades in already in some of the like by his head and things. I darkened up a little bit. But now what I'm doing is I'm kind of putting in some lines so that I can create those stripes that Newton has. I'm going to bring you in a little bit more so you can kind of see what I'm doing. This brush has a really fine point to it, so it was perfect for me to kind of make these little stripes for Newton. So I'm just putting some here and there. And deepening up some of the shadow areas. So this is kind of similar to what Newton looks like. If you go on to their website and their blog, you can see a picture of Newton. Super cute. So I'll be leaving all the links below for all the supplies that I used for this card in the description area below and also on my blog. So I think that about finishes Newton. And now I'm just coloring in these little flowers with yellow and red. I'm not doing any blending, I'm just coloring it as is. And then his little nose. And then I'll be stamping the sentiment. It comes with a speech bubble, and there's 2 sentiments that you can use, and they both fit in the speech bubble. So I'm actually going to stamp it together, and I'll be using the same VersaFine Onyx black ink. So it says right at the top over here, I'm stamping, wishing you a day filled with sunshine. I think it's just a perfect sentiment. And you can put in a sentiment there. You can put in like pictures there, like he's thinking of something. So there's a lot of possibilities that you can do with just this little mini stamp set. So here I was about to stamp the bee that's also included in this stamp set, and I dropped it. So I'm going to kind of fix it later on, but for now I'm stamping the bees here and there. I stamped 3 bees, one on each flower and one on top of the speech bubble. Then cleaning off my mat because I'm going to put the card together here. I'm going to attach this design paper, the polka dot, right onto my A2 size card base. And then I'm going to put my scenery right on top. But before that, I wanted to attach the vellum that I cut out. So this is gonna kind of be like the cloud in a way. So I just ran ATG right at the top here because it's going to be layered with 2 vellum, and also I'm going to put the clouds on top so it's not, the adhesive is not going to show through. But for the top vellum, I just put a small dot of Tombow Mono multi glue, a small dot on each corner of the rectangle, because again it's going to get covered up by the clouds. So, and then I'm going to cut off the excess that's hanging off. And there it goes. Now I'm going to kind of play around with the placement of where I want these clouds to be. First, I'm going to glue these 2 clouds together so it becomes like one, like that. I think that's how I'm going to put it. I was debating whether if I wanted to use the vellum or not, but I don't know. I think 3 is good. I think 4 kind of, I don't know, in my opinion, it kind of looks kind of off somehow. So that's where I'm going to place the clouds. So here again, I'm putting glue on this cloud, but the other one I will be putting foam adhesive and it'll be popped up. Just like that. And I'm going to cut the cloud that's on the right. I'm going to cut the end off, but the other one I'm just going to leave it as is. I kind of like that look of it kind of hanging off a little bit. And then after that, I'll be putting foam adhesive on this entire front panel and then popping it up on top of the design paper. And I'll be back to show you the finished card. I put some details, extra details here and there. So I kind of fixed the bumblebee's wings a little, and I also colored the yellow part of the bumblebee part, and also use the dark green to kind of put some little dash lines for the not dash lines but for the grass. So this finishes off my card for today. So please check out all the links below on the description at the bottom, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks so much. Bye.